What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and Steph Curry has finally offered a little bit of insight to what he has done behind the scenes to try to bring this Draymond Jordan Poole situation back together. And not only Draymond with Jordan Poole, but just Draymond with the team in general. Like Kevon Looney said, some trust has been broken. So a lot of guys are feeling a lot of you could see some distance there between some of the players and Draymond. Like we saw what Iguodala was doing over there on the bench, accusing him of being on LeBron, something crazy. We also saw Steph's comment saying Jordan Poole didn't deserve none of that. So like, although they said Dre was their brother, they clearly took like a side in this incident. So Rachel Nichols finally got to speak with Steph, and she asked Steph about the team and the state of the team. And here's what he had to say. Check it out.
Steve did make a big deal about how big a light you were in a dark situation. He said that you were the one going around and bringing everyone back together. What does that mean? What were you doing?
Trying to be a connector. I think you realize what conversations need to be had. There's a little bit of patience involved. We're all human beings, and we all have emotions, and we all have different ways of coping with adversity. But my job is to maintain the joy, the perspective, but also the expectation that we can get through it. And that requires whatever it requires. And there were some hard days. There could be some hard days coming. You just have to be able to deal with reality as it is, and that's kind of my job as leader of the team.
There's iciness. I mean, there's no way around it. It's pretty obvious, and at this point, I'm not saying it can't change. And Draymond Green's belief, I would assume, is that his play will change the situation. But at this point, he feels a little bit isolated in the locker room. In general, yeah, I have never felt as much of a separation between Draymond and the Warriors than this moment. But again, both sides are saying, like, hey, look, we're trying to win a title. And we all know, like, if a title is won, if a playoff run happens and Draymond Green is awesome in it, we're going to be talking plenty about that and probably wanting to interview him post-game after he shuts down Jokic in a big win in Denver or something like that. So circumstances can change is all I'd say, but they are a little odd right now.
The three-guard lineup, with you, Clay, and Jordan, that in that Nuggets first-round series became such a big story.
What did y'all call that back then?
I mean, there was like 25 names. I personally didn't have a name.
You didn't participate?
I willfully did not participate. But
stuck because I can't remember any of them.
Yeah, exactly. But it kind of faded as the playoffs went on. But you guys used it to close the first half the other night. Do you feel like that lineup has a chance this season to, be really useful to you guys?
For sure, just because we have, I feel 5, 6, 7. I think the fact that we have Clay stuff to the start of the year, I know he's still on a minutes restriction, so you don't have everybody fully available, but he didn't show up till January last year, and then Draymond was hurt for a while, so we didn't really have a lot of time to rep that out during the regular season, and we kind of just showcase in the playoffs, and it worked for a little bit, and then there were some struggles, and we figured it out. So knowing that you have so many guys to throw out there, that lineup will be one that you can go to pretty regularly. I'm sure there'll be another one that'll pop up with, Kenny will show us the numbers like, this lineup's working well, type vibe, and pray to God it won't be a brainstorming nicknames and none of that stuff that will go on. We can just play basketball and enjoy it. So we'll see what happens, because you know how things change. But that lineup we all complement each other well. If you can get stops, you can push in transition and play fast, and spacing's crazy. So it's a good look.
So as you can see, man, Steph Curry said that he's just trying to be a connector. So a connector, I thought about what that is. If you're connecting something, right, and you are the connector, then one thing connects on one side and the other thing connects on the other side, and you are that middle piece. but basically you trying to hold it together more than they can be brought together. You see what I'm saying? So it could be some hard times in the future. There were some hard days. There could be some hard days in the future. We're humans. We all have feelings. So he knows this year more than his play, his leadership is going to be a thing that's going to get tested on another front. Not saying he's never led two guys through conflict, but he's leading players through a public conflict this time. So that's going to be a new challenge for them because the Warriors are under such a microscope. They're expected to win the title again this year by a lot of people. So with that expectation comes the responsibility of having everybody in order. And Klay Thompson, who doesn't seem to be as vocal, he's going to have to step up because one thing that's lost in all of this is some of Draymond's vocal leadership. How should I say it? I don't know how everybody's going to receive it. You got different personalities. So now you have where most players would have took his vocal in your face leadership style. He approached certain players, they might be ready to swing. He approached other ones. They may be a little timid. He approached some. It may be just one ear out the other. They're not really listening because they don't feel as connected to him. So I think that's going to be significant for the Warriors depending on who they playing certain obstacles at certain points of the season because Draymond has that uncomfortable vocal leadership, which I don't know if Steph and them had. I know a lot of people will say Tim Duncan didn't, but Tim Duncan would talk some junk. You go back and listen to those players that play with them, play with TD. He would do some of the stuff like Kobe did as far as like his vocal, how hard he was vocally. They said TD would get like that too. So don't let TD fool y'all. TD was like that. At the same time, looking at Draymond Green, if you take that from him, you take that edge from him, undersized energy forward, do you lose some of his productivity? You see what I'm saying? Where he's trying to taper that back a little bit. Can we realistically take that from him and keep what makes Dre? Because I saw him at different times before Wiseman got injured, like in his first year, putting these guys in the right position on defense, challenging Steph, challenging KD. And we got to give Dre his props. They actually responded good to it, obviously, because the franchise has 4 championships that Draymond's all a part of, right? So we can't just diminish what he's done based off just this incident because they have results and his impact on the team is positive and is needed. I don't know if taking that from him is what's best for the team, though. So Steph, he knows the good thing about Steph is it seems like he knows that he has a challenge ahead of him as far as bringing those two together, being a connector, that not trying to force and not trying to get them to go kumbaya, but trying to like be a mediator and let it naturally come back together somewhat over time. But there has to be somebody there to mediate the situation. So man, I hope this all works out for the Warriors because I want to see them, if they win the championship, I want to see them come through this adversity, but I also want to see them, if they lose, I want to see them at full strength because you remember when the Lakers lost to Detroit Pistons, we felt like the inner turmoil helped with the Pistons. The Pistons played extremely well and they could have won anyway, but we feel like the inner turmoil is why it wasn't even a good series. You know what I'm saying? The Pistons handled them. So I don't want to see it end like in that type of way. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if somebody can beat them, I want to see them just get beat because the other team was better. And if they win, I would like to see Steph lead and then they come back from this. If they can bounce back from this, media circus right here and win it, that would be a great accomplishment too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.